describe what it feels like to drive the car. It's like a fury of metal and fiberglass, just you know, it's like together in like a union. It's one big package where it all works. My name is Matt, and I own a Mazda RX7. As I was growing up with things like TV shows like Initial D was kind of a contributing factor of why I started liking something like an FD, right? And then went into watching Hot Version, you know, watching Toge, Best Motoring, Option magazine, stuff like that, right? And then during a time where I was at a car show and a friend of mine had a RX-7, and that was actually my first time ever being close to an RX-7. He actually asked me to move the car for him, and being me, like, that's the most exciting thing ever. And I hopped in, moved it a couple feet, right, parked it, and then at that point, I think I told myself that I just wanted an RX-7. It's something about the FD, the body, right, and how it was designed. It's just a very sexy car, like a very beautiful shape, and besides the fact that it's just a really well-balanced car. So I kind of ventured out to Japan, where at that time, actually, the first generation of FDs were legal. It's made more sense, more economical to go that route with the right-hand drive. And besides the fact that at that time, I was a huge fan of RE-Amemiya. Right? I just really admired their kind of tuning philosophy, the RE kit, and how it looked, and it just became kind of what I wanted. The whole bidding process, when I found the car, and near the end of the bid, unfortunately, there was one particular guy that also wanted the car pretty bad. It knocked the price up higher and higher and higher, but I just knew at that point I just needed the car. Months of looking, and for it to come up just for me to lose it that way, like there's no way. And then it was literally to the final minutes. I was refreshing the browser, seeing the countdown on Yahoo Auction Japan, and then just crossing my fingers that that notification doesn't come up saying that I've been outbid. Finally, I won the car. I'd say like that was freaking exciting. Like, it's probably one of the happiest, like not to sound too cliche or even superficial, but that was like one of my happiest days. When I got the car, I was early 20s. I wanted a very loud, very bright, and a very obnoxious. It used to be yellow. Pretty much about almost a decade later, I changed it to midnight purple for the sole reason of less attention. It's also one of my favorite colors for a car. It's still very loud, it's still very obnoxious, but it's really track focused now. Just on the track, going towards the corner, there's power turning those wheels, and there's a whole bunch of grip with this car. First thing you do is you turn in, that front end just bites. Like the tires, just the 255s, 888s, they grab that tarmac, and then the suspension comes in, and then the aero comes in, and then you're moving at a rate of speed, hitting that apex, and then winding out. The rear tire kind of just like hooks up, and then hammer down, and just, you're off, right? Absolutely, that's probably my favorite thing, like ever, when it comes to cars, is that invigorating feeling of just hitting that perfect corner and going at speed. You know you've gone fast. You know that you've just owned that corner. I've unfortunately had gone through 3 engines, and now I'm on my 4th. The current engine in the car is half bridged, gives it that pretty lumpy idle. Very good response. Everything else, like the turbo, full turbo system has been replaced, and pushing now from the dyno 406 horsepower to the wheels. an epitome of up and down. You don't truly appreciate something until you've seen like the worst absolute side of it. I've always had, issues working on the car, cutting myself, burning myself, bleeding everywhere. It's all the times that it has ever decided to let go and do its own thing. It's what I've accepted to be that has kind of developed its own personality. Besides that, all the times that has kind of disappointed me, it's always in a way redeemed itself. Being an RX-7 owner, right, that's honestly kind of part of the charm, right? It always kind of works out in the end. End of the day, like it's my car, it's my RX-7. I absolutely love it.